Sketch originally came about 2 to 3 years ago. There's a guy named Mike Griffin. He graduated back in '96 from UNC, and he just had such an entrepreneurial journey after that. And he wanted to kind of share that and really give that experience to a lot of other students. Eventually, our paths crossed. He came across me through our networks and brought me in here, and then I brought the rest of these guys and gals here. And I originally was going to go into finance, and that just didn't feel like it was for me. Came back to North Carolina, back to Chapel Hill, and started really networking around this community. So my first startup was an app called Wave. So it's for bars and events. So finding anything going on in any city, where all of your friends are going, everybody can make plans together, see what's going on around them. Actually, they're all entrepreneurs are part of that team as well, and that's what kind of led us all together over here.
I went to UNC, I studied psychology and entrepreneurship. The entrepreneurship program was my introduction to entrepreneurship. It was the first time I felt like seen and heard. We instantly clicked. He told me about Wave. I was doing some influencer marketing at the time for a brand here called Greensleeve. We drifted apart as I went to go into the corporate world after graduating. I did recruiting for 6 months, ended up going into medical sales. I'd reached out to him kind of at a rock and a hard place. I was like, I am hating what I'm doing. A few months down the road, I ended up coming on full time to work with him. We recruited some other people, and it's just grown into a really cool team dynamic.
I graduated from UNC in December 2022 with a degree in biomedical engineering. Prior to graduation, I'd been working at RTP in systems engineering. The summer prior to that, I started working under Willie. He was managing another bar down the street. I just liked his vision for everything he was doing. He always wanted every person that we communicated with there, like whether they were having an event, for it to be very personable. Working on transitioning to the pitch, he had me manage the bar there. He kind of like tied it together for me. I didn't have to just go into the field of engineering and kind of sit behind a desk and model for the rest of my life, but I had a bigger vision to kind of move more into like the business side of things.
I graduated earlier this year, May 2023, with a major in math, and I did minors in engineering and neuroscience. We got the app started, and then I started to hear about this pitch, and I was like, hold on, like I haven't figured out what I wanted to do. Like I really want to go into engineering, but like I don't know where to start, and there's so many different opportunities through here that I can kind of exercise anything that's going on in my mind.
As a foundation of the business, we started off with the event space. Event space is very consistent revenues. There's a lot of college students around here, and also a lot of young professionals, a lot of families around here. There was a coffee shop space that was there, so we figured why not open up a coffee shop right here. We figured that was a good segue into the event space as well. Having the daytime open, it gives us a storefront, gives us some foot traffic during the day that we can get one-on-one time with customers and tell them about the event space.
In the event space, any sort of event, frat or sorority event, cocktail, wedding receptions, we can get live performances in there, have DJs, music, decorate it however you like. Our lovely bartenders back there, and we get themed drinks. And depending on the capacity, we have extra space downstairs.
The content room, it's equipped with a podcast processor, a few monitors for people to hook up their computer to, ring lights, green screen, projector. They should be able to sit in here, process the information they need, save it, and go. And small parties for about 8 to 10 people could also book it out, which means we move out all the equipment and use a surround sound system in here, put on a movie. We could set up mics in here for like a smaller karaoke night. So for the conference room, mainly just a think tank, great space to meet everyone and address them just in a focused manner.
We're just continuously finding ways to, rather than put one tag on the business and on the building, say, we're not really using the building for these 3 to 4 hours a day typically. How can we better use that? How can we drive revenues with that?
So I have some sales, marketing, and some media experience on camera, and never felt that was something that was accepted in the corporate world, or at least wasn't typical. So now I'm able to use this as kind of a playground and meet really great like-minded people to help those things become reality. And now I can help other students that are in my position where I was 3 or 4 years ago do the same thing.
We figured by having a more neutral space that allows, as we're bringing more students in here, for them to take a look at it as a blank canvas.
The Pitcher program is the Pitch Entrepreneur in Residence. So since we're kind of a service-forward business, students would first come in here as a bartender or a barista. Later on, they formalize with a survey and meeting. What areas of the business are you most interested in?
Say they want to go into marketing and learn how to manage a coffee shop, or they want to learn like the construction side of stuff. Like, they can choose these areas and we'll help them learn more about it going forward so they can find out exactly what they want to do.
One thing the Pitcher program really emphasizes is experiential learning. I think it's extremely important for students to get real world experience before they graduate. It helps with communicating. It also develops a sense of confidence.
Being like very similar in age to the people we're bringing in as well, we can relate to them more and hopefully build stronger relationships.
We want to hit 100 students on campus in the next year or two that we can really just provide as much value as possible for. More so from a revenue projection perspective. It's our first year in business, so we're trying to get to profitability as quickly as we can. And hopefully reach profitability within the first year and then just keep on growing beyond that.
A benchmark, I guess, for events would be having our own recurring events that are tradition, people are knowing a lot about, being able to house investors and entrepreneurs in a space and do networking consistently. I think that's going to be a point where we feel really, really happy, like we're accomplishing our goal and our vision.
Definitely the idea that's been built up around what an entrepreneur is. With times changing, I think people should also change with that. From my background, I never thought I would do something like this. It doesn't matter what you look like, but it's just really what your skill set is and what you can put on paper.
I guess coming in here when I didn't think that I would be able to actually fully run a coffee shop, now I've learned how to actually fully take inventory, how to create spreadsheets and take costs to pricing. I've hired people, I've learned how to manage them and show them what to do and hopefully pass on what I've learned to them.
I would say the most amazing part about this place is we've learned so much from it, and it's enabled us to be able to pass on what we've learned. It just kind of feels very empowering at this age to kind of feel like your own boss a little bit.
Yeah.
I just felt like I had a different way of looking at things, that I thought my assets and values could be better used in a setting like this, as the best things that can happen to you sometimes come unexpected. But you just have to be aware of the opportunity. Reach out to people if you need help. When you start reaching out and asking people for help and admitting you might need some advice on something, it can build a lot of bridges that would not have been there otherwise. So I think that's really important.
Probably sounds really corny, but follow your heart. I think that we all too often suppress a lot of the things that we want to do and want to say and places that we want to be. And it's not always for good reason. We always fall into routines that are kind of put onto us. A lot of people kind of get into the 9-to-5 grind and they wait until somebody comes to them and gives them a promotion or tells them, I want to give you more responsibility. Having the tenacity to walk in there and speak to your higher ups, just walking in and saying, hey, I know I'm just your accountant, but I've been learning a lot about marketing and I think I can come up with some marketing strategies that can save us a little bit of money. You want me to put together the numbers. Just walking in the room and really recognizing your own worth and recognizing your talents and where you want to be and professing that to the world gives that back to you. You can create opportunities out of anything. And that's been my entire journey. I look for opportunities every single day, every single conversation. I just keep with that energy and I just see things and I'm like, I think I could turn this thing that's burning in my heart right now into something out of nothing.